So you've decided that you're ready to vlog, but you know that your phone is just not it. So you decide you're ready to look for a camera, but which camera to use? You're focused on price point. Does 8-bit and 10-bit actually matter? Am I gonna be comfortable filming and having a camera in front of my face with other people seeing me? I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know you, so I can't actually answer any of those questions for you. What I can do is compare two cameras that you have probably, most likely, definitely, for sure seen here on the internet. And I would not be surprised if you actually have both of them sitting in a cart somewhere and you're just debating between the two. The Insta360 GO Ultra and the Osmo Pocket 3. They are both great vlogging cameras. You will not go wrong with either one, but they do shine in different ways and in different use cases. So in this video, I'm gonna try to just give you as comprehensive of a comparison as I can to help hopefully inform you to make whatever right decision works for you. By the way, if you're new here, hi, I'm Halise. I'm a filmmaker, storyteller, content creator, internetter. And on this channel, I document my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow social media, all of the things. Let's get into it. The video is sponsored, but I am going to try to give my honest opinion about this. As of recording this video, the Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo cost this. Conversely though, the Insta360 GO Ultra Creator Bundle costs this. So it's cheaper. If you're someone who's new to content creation, new to operating cameras in general, I think right off the bat, out the gate, for the money, the GO Ultra is gonna be easier. The Osmo Pocket 3, right out the box, you can also do it. Like, you can have auto everything on this camera and still get great footage, but there's just a little more complexity. And with that complexity does help, you know, the types of shots you can get with this gimbal camera. Whereas with the Insta360 GO Ultra, fresh out the box, it makes sense. Power it on, hit the red button, start going. You know, like, you don't have to overthink using this camera. You'll also probably notice in some of my close-up shots of my Osmo Pocket 3, again, I've had mine now for probably 3 years at this point. I've beat this thing up, you know, and thankfully it's been able to withstand all of the beat up that I've put it through pretty well. But at the end of the day, it's not gonna be as rugged as an action cam. It's just not. These cameras are designed to be in the action. So, you know, the actual camera of the GO Ultra itself is waterproof up to 33 feet. And then even the action casing that the camera is housed in is also like splash proof and dust resistant as well. It's crazy. You do not put this in water. Do not put this in water. But I would say the GO Ultra definitely allows for even more discretion with filming just based on its size and portability. You know, just keeping it tiny right here works great, especially if you're someone who's nervous about filming in public. You can just kind of pop it out, film something, have a moment, pop it back in your bag really quickly. Osmo Pocket 3, you can still, once again, pop it out, film very easily, but right, there's a smidge of a delay. You're someone who's new to using cameras, new to using a gimbal, it's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve for you. And one thing people don't realize before buying this camera, I think, is that there are a few different gimbal modes and each of them operate a little bit differently. Most people who are beginners will probably enjoy follow the most. And see, this is the thing for me. So with follow, when you dip down, the camera, the gimbal follows down and up as well. That being said though, action cams are kind of the OG internalized stabilization beasts, right? Of the camera world. It might as well be a gimbal. It basically has the same vibe almost, you know? I tend to just keep my stabilization on standard. That's enough for walking and talking. Moving shots I'm gonna get, standard is like more than enough for me. Once you like turn on things like tilt fix and whatnot, it's just constantly correcting and like keeping everything like super straight, locked and loaded the way you want. So if you're considering becoming a POV creator, I would probably lean more towards the GO Ultra for that. You can though technically get a POV shot The way you would do that with this camera is you would need to then purchase some third-party accessories to mount the camera to your chest like this. Make sure that the gimbal is facing forward, so switching that beforehand, before you put it on yourself. The struggle with this is that you can't see what you're filming. Because of the nature of how it's set up on you, you just won't be able to see what you're filming. You'll need to then grab your phone and see what you're filming via the DJI Mimo app. Whereas obviously with the Go Ultra, once again, it's an action camera. This is what these cameras are made to do. So it's as simple as popping it off and grabbing one of the lanyards that come with it, and then just sticking it to your chest, hitting the button, you're off to the races. It's recording now. And because it's detached from the monitor, you can then turn the monitor on, see exactly what you're filming in real time, make adjustments like it already just turned on. Because I'm recording, it turned on and like immediately started showing me, you know? Let's go outside and let's see footage of both. So I'm in Grant Park hanging out with the Osmo Pocket 3, walking and talking like you probably would if you're outdoorsy or if you just want to do those walk and talk style videos. Have my Osmo Pocket 3 at a semi-bend with my arm away, so that way it's about 1.5 feet away from me right now. You can make it be a little bit wider without having to hold your arm all the way like this by using the 15mm lens adapter that comes with the Creator Combo. I'll go ahead and put it on right now so you can see what it looks like. So as you can see, this widens your shot a little bit. It definitely helps with making it feel more expansive, making people feel more involved in what you're filming. Conversely, this is what it's like to walk and talk with the Go Ultra. And even just with linear, as you can see, it's like so wide. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it now to Mega though, so you can get an idea of how wide this camera goes. So this is my field of view with Mega. I'll go ahead and have the two compared so you can see linear versus Mega. And like, I barely have my arm stretched out that much at all, which makes it just easier to vlog. Speaking of discreet, what's great about this little camera is you can mount it anywhere. It's magnetic and there's just so many different mounting options. So you can kind of just leave it somewhere and record a different kind of shot and not really even think about like bothering anyone or anything like that. I actually recently took this little camera with me to the gym just to see what shots I could do, because I can easily just attach it onto another piece of magnetic equipment and film myself doing my reps, and there you go. But if we're going to be doing a fair comparison, which we want to for this video, you can technically mount an Osmo Pocket 3 to different things as well. You just have to have another attachment that doesn't come with the camera. The camera itself isn't magnetized like on its own. You have to buy a separate accessory that you can then attach it to things and make it magnetic. So it is also possible to do that with the Osmo Pocket 3. We have to be fair. So right at the gate, I feel like if you're ever filming with any sort of camera, it's all about what stand you're gonna use. This is their tripod stand specifically for the Go Ultra, and I really like it because one, it acts as a selfie stick, like it extends super, super far like this. And then also the other thing I like about it is it has built-in legs to make it a tripod to stand up. I like it because it's, you know, got this built-in magnetic locking, so it locks right onto your Go Ultra. And then once your Go Ultra is on, it's like on. Like, also allows you to place your Go Ultra on it like that too. So it works for both, whether it's inside its case or you're just running around with it like this and, you know, just kind of hanging on to the case to see what you're filming. I have the Insta360 512 gig Pro model. This is the one they sent me for the camera. I always go big when it comes to micro SDs, so that way I just don't have to worry about it. But the POV lanyard has been good. And then actually just been putting it inside my shirt, and that seems to work pretty well. This little guy, I was surprised by how much I actually really liked this little thing. So basically what it is it's adhesive on the back, and you can just kind of squish it down on anything. And when you're not using it as that, you know, just kind of cover it back up so you can save the adhesive as much as possible. I have been getting just so shots from just different angles because you can just stick this thing on anything. So I'm able to get angles in my apartment that I usually can't get unless I really take the time to like set up a whole situation, you know what I'm saying? Another one is this. I think this is technically like a clip for your bill, like a bill clip. put on your hat. I've already like used this in my car a couple times, just like slide the camera into like a vent, you know, like little things like that. And that's what makes this one really helpful too. And again, nice and compact. Yeah, those are the accessories I've been vibing with. So with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo, you get quite a few things that I think are pretty helpful to telling stories with this camera. So one thing that you get that's really good is a battery extender. This plugs directly into the camera itself, and it also acts as a makeshift like hand grip as well, which can be really helpful. What it's really meant for is for as your Osmo Pocket 3 is dying, plug it in and keep working for a bit and then eventually take it back off. You don't really want to leave this on. It's meant to be like a break glass, use the battery extender kind of thing, not meant to be just like keep the battery extender on it all the time kind of thing. When you're not using the battery extender, they just basically have this makeshift additional hand grip. I always have the extendable hand grip just on it all the time because it also has a 3/4 inch screw on the bottom, which allows you to use the little tripod that comes with the Osmo Pocket 3 as well and is part of the Creator Combo. So that way you can stand it up very easily if you want to. The other thing that comes with the Creator Combo is a DJI Mic 2, which you can use to record directly to the Osmo Pocket 3. Just a little FYI tip, if you have the plastic case, you can just hook it to the top of the plastic case. So that way it's just always connected. Just FYI. Final thing that comes with the Creator Combo is the wide angle lens, and it actually ends up fitting directly into the plastic case as well. There's like a little magnetic section where the lens just hooks inside of it, which is where I always keep mine. I will say, honestly, even though this came with the Creator Combo and I keep it with my Osmo Pocket 3 at all times, I don't use it. I sacrifice the field of view to have a variable ND filter because I'm usually filming outside in bright sun, and it's just, I would just rather prioritize having an ND filter over a wider shot. So that's kind of the trade-off with the Osmo Pocket 3 for me compared to the Go Ultra. So those are the accessories that come with the Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo, and the one accessory that I just keep with it, which is the ND filter. I personally enjoy using these, you know, smaller cameras and just like trying to get the most out of them without too much extra stuff. And so it's been really cool to compare the audio just straight out of each of these. The Osmo Pocket 3 does audio pretty well. So it has 3 different microphone capsules built into it. One microphone capsule is on the back, and then there are 2 at either side. I'm not using any sort of external microphone. I'm just using the microphones that are built into the Osmo Pocket 3. I'm trying to be careful not to cover them as well. I'm always very careful to just leave it on all directions. I don't like going through the settings and switching it to front and back or just front, because a lot of times I'll forget to switch it back and then I'm stuck on the next thing that I end up filming. If you're thinking about walking and talking, this is a great way to do it. If you go to the audio settings, you can actually change which one of the microphones it's using. It has settings for front and back. I just tend to keep it on all. I also tend to always keep my wind noise reduction on. I find that it's great, clears up the audio pretty well. Like, I've been outside on the Beltline talking and there's like construction happening around me and everything, and I like don't even have a mic and it's been usable. That being said though, so does the Go Ultra. So with my Go Ultra audio settings, I always keep the auto wind noise reduction actually on weak. I find that that clears up a lot of background noise, but still leaves some of that ambient so you get a sense of the audio of the space that I'm in. Right now I have it on wind noise reduction weak. I don't have it on very strong because I feel like it tends to sound a little too robotic if I let the sort of algorithms of any of these cameras go too ham on audio. Like, they just overcorrect a bit too much for me, you know? But the audio on this is actually really good. So audio in each of these is going to be great. But the other thing is that you can also use external microphones with both of these. The Insta360, you can purchase a mic Air to go with this, a Bluetooth connected external microphone that you can just clip to yourself and use. It works really well. If you're just trying to get going, the mic Air is going to be a solid choice. It connects directly to the Insta360 GO Ultra, and you can also control the camera from the microphone. Also, one thing that's really interesting about the mic Air too is that
if you just have the mic air out and you turn it on, once you have established a connection with the Go Ultra, it'll just turn the Go Ultra on too. So again, it just makes it really easy and seamless to just get going, get started. It's nice.
And then also, once again, if you get the creator combo with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, it will come with a DJI Mic 2.
But yeah, this is what the audio sounds like walking and talking with the Osmo Pocket 3. I will say the DJI Mic 2s are a bit more cumbersome. As you can see, they're pretty big compared to the Mic Air.
The perk of having the DJI Mic 2, if you do the creator combo with Osmo Pocket 3, is that you do get 32-bit float recording, which I will admit is dope. I personally love using 32-bit float, but again, that's a very technical thing. You don't need 32-bit float to be a great vlogger. So the Osmo Pocket 3 films in 10-bit color, which basically means the depth and the breadth of the color is just going to be just more. Whereas the Go Ultra, it is filming in 8-bit. There's just more intensity to the color that this camera can pick up than this one, period. Do you need it? Are you gonna miss it? I think something that's worth mentioning too is focus. So the Osmo Pocket 3 has a fixed aperture of f2. So that means at all times, it's just letting in a lot of light. And because it's letting in a lot of light all the time, it's also going to give you a more shallow depth of field with your picture. That's just how it is. The thing that's interesting about this though, is that you can actually pull focus. So you can tap on the screen at different spots and it will focus on different things at different distances from the camera. That is unique to the Osmo Pocket 3 compared to the Go Ultra, which is a fixed focus. Basically, everything that's about a foot or two away from the camera is just in focus. That's how it works. The Go Ultra has HDR, so it's really made for being outside in full sun and not needing anything extra to go with it. But when I'm actually vlogging with either camera, I'm always doing their version of vlog. So with the Go Ultra, I'm filming in iLog, HDR mode, love it. With the Osmo Pocket 3, I'm filming in D-Log, so that way I can have more creative control with the color correction and color grading in post.
All the stuff you've seen with my Go Ultra so far and the Osmo Pocket 3 has at least been in their proprietary logs. It's auto everything, right? And you're getting what that feels like, but I just couldn't do normal mode. But that's not to say that the normal modes are bad. I just am me. This is how I like to film. I like to have a lot of post-production control. We are off of iLog. We are just in their normal mode. This is their normal color space. This is what it looks like. And it's not bad. This is what it is. I'll go ahead and throw up a comparison if you can see how it looks with iLog, with my color correction and color grading versus normal mode. I never really feel a need to reach for an ND filter with the Go Ultra because Go Ultra shoots in HDR mode, and so even though the sun is peeking out through the clouds now and we're getting these little bursts of color, things actually are still pretty balanced. Like there's still just a lot I can work with here in post. Let me turn off HDR mode though so you can see the difference. So this is what it is with HDR mode turned on. Okay, and so then here we are without HDR turned on. So we're just in normal mode, plain Jane, no HDR. And again, I think I can still more or less work with this. I'll go ahead and put them up side by side so you can see the difference. I tend to always shoot with HDR mode on. Maybe that's overkill. Maybe I don't need to do with HDR mode on all the time.
So that being said, I love filming in iLog on the Go Ultra. I love it, but there are some built-in setbacks to filming in iLog on the Go Ultra. So if you're someone who's interested in color correction, color grading, and you know you're gonna wanna use iLog a lot, the Go Ultra might not be the one for you because in iLog, you can film at 4K, 24 frames per second, but you can't film at 60 frames per second in 4K in iLog. You have to switch it back to normal mode to do that.
Okay, so here we are, auto everything, but we are shooting in D-Log M on the Osmo Pocket 3. This is what it looks like. I do not have the 15mm adapter on, just here's what it is, D-Log M. All right. So here is normal color mode on the Osmo Pocket 3, auto everything else. One thing I will say with this normal mode that I'm really seeing, and again, this is why I like to film, if I am gonna film with my Osmo Pocket 3, I end up using an ND filter. We have this guy, we have it, but we're kind of losing it a little bit. This is a prime example of when I would want to bust out my variable ND filter and pop that on and beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. So that way I'm not losing any information in the sky, and I'm not like blown out too much on the footage either. Again, this doesn't look bad.
There's so many other settings in these cameras that are neat respectively that I just frankly don't have time to get into in this video, because then it would be like an absurdly long video. But if you want me to talk about even more of the different details between these two cameras, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll do a follow-up and deep dive into some of the other things that each of them can do separately, so that way it can help you make a more informed decision. Again, the point of this video is to help you compare the two cameras, not to make the decision for you. But I would say if you are a true beginner to vlogging, if you want something that is very portable, very versatile, easily mountable to a lot of different things, very rugged, if you're someone who's pretty nervous about filming in public, if you're pretty outdoorsy, outsidey, you want to be oot in a boot here, there, and everywhere, probably the Go Ultra is gonna be a great option for you. It's gonna check a lot of boxes for you. Conversely though, the Osmo Pocket 3. If you're someone who wants to dibble and dabble in the cinematographies of it all, you want to start to really think about framing, styling, focus, etc. And you want to like learn about ISO, aperture, etc. But still want a camera that you can just put on auto when you want to, and it's still going to give you a good picture. You want to be able to pull focus without the need of accessories. And you've got a bit more budget to work with. Specs, facts and figures, the tech, that's all just details. Which one at your core feels like the one that you know you'll put in your bag and capture stuff? That's the camera you should buy. That being said, if the Insta360 seems like the camera you're gonna go with, check the description down below. It'll actually help me out and give this channel a small commission at no extra cost to you, which allows me to keep doing this type of content and helping y'all out with the decisions and teaching you about the tech, which I love to do. Questions, thoughts, meditations, affirmations, concerns, please put them all down below. I will try to make sure to answer as much of them as I can. Again, I'm Halise, endeavoring to persevere as always, and on this channel, I document my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow social media, all of the things. Toodles, y'all.